I think we're about ready here, so I'm going to go ahead and give the racers... I can't hear... Are you still here, Greenleaf?
I am still here, absolutely.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I'm going to go ahead and get this show on the road then. Here we go. Let's do this. And as soon as the stream lag catches up, we should see these racers get started. There goes VReznor. There goes Dark Magician.
Yep, sounds about good right here. And interesting thing is we're already seeing one of the options, the randomized tunic color. Loving the purple.
Yeah, that is a slick-looking purple tunic. VReznor already running into one of those dreaded desert encounters. Those are no fun to find, especially early on in the game. So the players will be looking for one of 5 items, or actually all 5 items, on the western continent. We have 4 of them in caves, and 1 of them in a grass tile. They'll also be looking for the 4 towns and the 3 palaces. And it looks like we've already found Palace 2, maybe? We'll find out later.
It's always fun figuring out the palaces, and the one interesting thing with the palaces here is we'll be able to roughly tell what we're looking at here just because of the statues in the front. Palaces 1, 2, and 3 are all going to be here on the western side, and when we stab the statue, it is a iron knuckle, we'll know it's 3. Otherwise, it's a 50-50 shot, as has already been notated.
So we got VReznor finding Death Mountain, and he's just going to go ahead and jump right in.
And Dark Magician is finding a 50-point P-bag here in one of the graveyard areas, and that's going to give him life 2 already.
And VReznor's decided that Death Mountain is not good for him, so he's going to come back later. I think that's a great decision on his part.
Is Death Mountain ever good for anybody? I mean, it's Death Mountain. Sorry, but I don't want a vacation there.
You don't want to hang out with some Dairas and Moblins?
I'll hang out with the Gorillas all you want, but, you know, Dairas, Moblins, I mean, Death Mountain is something with the die in its name as in Daira. No, I'm good.
We have our first item cave on Dark Magician's side, and it's guarded by one of those nasty red Dairas. Players don't like seeing these guys early on in the game. They do tons of damage, and we see VReznor has found the grass tile, which has the raft, so great pickup for him.
Yeah, raft is nice. It's going to open up most of the rest of the overworld, of course. More than likely, boots are going to be required, or at least going to make things easier. But getting an early raft is always a good thing.
And we see Dark Magician struggling to get past that Daira. I think that's the 2nd time he's died on it. Going for 3rd try. Ooh, taken. Nope, not going to work out for him, unfortunately. That's a game over. VReznor finding Death Mountain again.
Well, the game is like, well, you know, we want you to be here, we like you to be here, so you're going to be here. We don't care what you want to say, just come and enjoy us. We have cookies. I do love the fact that we have Death Mountain here, and it's in a bunch of graveyard tiles. And hey, we found Hammer Cave.
Yeah, so the 2nd trip to Death Mountain paid off for VReznor. Gonna get another item out of here.
And so far, overall, not a hugely tricky beginning to Hammer Cave here, ending up with just the blue moblin as opposed to anything really scary.
Thought I saw a town over on Dark Magician's stream.
You did?
Yes.
And this looks like the left-hand side of Saria.
Yep, so unfortunately not going to be able to get across the bridge without the fairy spell or Bagoo.
So probably the worst town to find early because you can't do anything.
Yeah. But if you can, then it does have a free spell waiting there for you, which is nice.
That's true. We do have another town here coming up as well. So let's see what we can find here.
And it's the correct end.
Sorry.
So he will get the spell. VReznor, meanwhile, is closing in on the item that's in Hammer Cave. So let's see
and then gets
what that's going to be.
Closed in on by an orange Gorilla and an orange Dyra.
Yeah, the little welcoming party for him. Got the Gorilla and the Dyra, and he earns a magic jar for his troubles.
Not the worst thing he could have found there.
No, magic jars, especially in the early game, are nice. And
we got fire! We've got early fire! Yes! Yes!
Oh, can't be happy to see that fire spell.
No, but I can't wipe the smile off my face.
Well, we see VReznor heading roughly the same direction, probably going to find Saria as well.
Doing some nice slinking there. Avoid all those encounters on all of these graveyard tiles. So that, well, I say that as he runs into the last one.
Neither player able to upgrade their attack, and so you see it's taking them a lot of hits to try and kill stuff. They both chose to take life and magic before attack, which is a much more defensive strategy.
I mean, I tend to agree. I agree with taking the life early because it was only 50, so getting the life 2 out of the way, I kind of agree with. And Chad is asking timer.
Oh yeah, I forgot to start the timer. I suppose I could grab the timer out of the race channel and see if I could get that set real quick. 6:45. Alright. Let me set that real quick. It won't be exact, but it'll be pretty close.
It will be close enough, and that's also going to give Reznor fire as well. So both of our racers getting their first spell, but, and opting to shoot it in the thing. Just like, yep, here's your fire spell, everybody. Enjoy it.
I like that. The swag fire.
We've also got our first palace sighting. Or our second palace sighting. And hey, we've got Bubblegum Pink. We were talking about this earlier, and it's Palace 1.
That is Palace 1, yep. Interesting, I was going to say, interesting that he didn't go in, but it looks like maybe, nope. Just resetting his lives and coming back later. There's another palace.
So, by default, this is going to be the one palace we haven't seen, because we already saw it was either Palace 2 or Palace 3, right?
Yeah, he's not even going to check it right now. No need. Finding Death Mountain and also finding the Hammer Cave, so he's probably gonna go. Yeah, he's gonna go pick up that magic jar. Let's see what VReznor does. He's gonna dive right in. So.
I don't blame him. I mean, it's Palace 1, so for the most part, the really only issue you're gonna run into here is potentially being key blocked. I like diving right in, and I love the the pink block pattern here. And there's the unofficial mascot of Z2Randomizer, Wall Stalfos.
It should be noted in Palace 1 that there are 3 key doors, but actually 4 keys, so it is in your favor, key-wise, with these settings. We see him picking up a key there.
So that's absolutely going to help as we progress a little bit farther on into Palace 1. Now here in the Palace, of course, we do have an item that we're hoping to get, and if I'm these guys, I'm honestly hoping and praying, like, I want Glove. I just want Glove out of the way, give me Glove, so I'm like, okay, I can just do whatever the heck I want now.
Yeah, early Glove is the dream, that's for sure, but I'm sure they'd also be happy to see something like the boots, or maybe even the hammer.
Well, probably, but if it's me, I'm like, Glove, 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 Glove.
Unos also pointing out that Palace 3 is also good for keys, which is very true on these settings. And here's Horsehead. Deciding to dive right in. Not using the fire spell on Horsehead, though.
Is Horsehead vulnerable to fire?
No, absolutely not. But still could have used it. Decided not to.
Doing some great because he's on one, like literally 1 HP stats.
Oh!
Ah!
Taking a shot.
Hey, that was a good fight.
And we see Dark Magician picking up the raft, or about to pick up the raft, anyhow.
Yes, this is something you don't see too often. Attack one Horsehead.
That's very true. You can see it's taking quite a few hits to put a dent in Horsehead here. And he finally goes down. We have attack 2. It'll be interesting to see if he's going to cash in the gem. It looks like he is. He's just going to go for it. Not going to bother to grind up experience. So
That's an interesting call.
got our first palace. Yeah, I personally, since I needed to find the item, I probably would have gone back and
Yeah, especially because
grinded
was
up.
only grinding up to 120. I mean, because it was 40 XP. If it was something crazy, I'd have cashed in. But for 40 XP, I'd have absolutely gone back.
He's not even going back for the item. He's leaving.
That's a risky gambit.
Yeah, that's a very interesting decision here. I'm not sure what the thought process is behind that, but I mean, that could be the glove, that could be the boots, that could be the hammer. It could also be the cross or the horn, but it's such a short palace that it's usually worth digging out that item.
But we also have VReznor using the raft to get over the eastern side of Hyrule, and we do have our first town on the eastern side here. And for anybody who has listened to me before, we all hope and pray, at least I hope and pray, that this is Nabooru, because in Nabooru, of course, is the absolute laziest woman in all of Hyrule. And unfortunately, we're not going to find out because game over time.
Yeah, I ran into some invisible Moas there, which is not, nobody's best friend, especially when you're at the early stages of the game. Meanwhile, on Dark Magician's side, we have found...
Medicine Cave. And the cross.
It's the cross! Yeah, so he'll be able to see those invisible Moas once he heads over.
Now, cross early is one of those things where the later the game progresses, the less and less happy you are to find it. But getting it early, you're like, okay, I'm not mad about that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You're not unhappy to find it pretty early. You're never super excited about it, but...
And we are going to be coming into... This is
Nukasuto.
Interesting.
And only 5 jars to get the item here, so he's going to get another quick item.
Awesome. That's a really good find, especially early. Because this is a game between, what, 5 and 7?
Yes, it is randomized between 5 and 7, so he gets a heart container for his trouble.
Hey, there is nothing wrong with getting a heart container because, life is... Well, I don't want to use the whole life is precious joke, but...
You're not wrong, though.
Nope. And of course, we're also going to get a spell here, so let's see what we pick up here. And of course, only in Zelda 2, you visit a creepy old man in the basement to get a spell, and it's Shield!
He's got the shield spell.
So basically, the first 2 spells that we found in today's seed are the 2 spells you want to find the least?
Well, shield is useful. In fact, I think shield is probably one of the most underutilized spells.
Oh, I 100%
people
agree with you on that.
Should be casting it more often than people do usually.
But the one...
So I'm never unhappy to find that one.
The one good thing is, of course, the spell actually, if I want to ask this, now the spell locations on the nice early 500-point feedback there, but the spell locations in the spell list are randomized. But how does that affect their MP cost, if anything?
It doesn't affect their MP cost, actually. Their MP cost is the same, is randomized independently of where they are found. So the formula
There we go.
is plus or minus 50% of what you would normally have to spend in the game.
Okay, that answers
and
the
it can
question.
never go up. So if you get a level, it'll always stay the same or go down. It'll never go up. So what level have we found here? Another pink level. That's Palace 6.
Yep, that has to be 6.
Yep. And Dark Magician finding another magic container, so he's up to 6. Still only one useless spell though.
And it looks like VReznor is trying to use Palace 6 there to grind a little bit, and like, no, yes, no, bubbles.
How much were those dark notes? 200?
Red Iron Knuckles are 150.
Okay. That's not bad actually. Already putting the shield spell to good use. And are we going to see Dark Magician go into level 1? Looks like that's where he's headed. Nope. Going to the raft spots.
This is also going to set him up right by New Kasuto, where he's going to get the same things we just saw, the shield spell and the heart container. And speaking of life, we have got life 4 being taken by VReznor, so he's already at 324, which is, very, very good, all things considered, because defense is better. And now we have,
especially this early in the game.
Yeah.
Both players are off to a pretty fast start here, so.
VReznor just making a quick stop into New Kasuto just to say hi again.
And we've seen, one of the other advantages of trying to go early is finding those big 500 P bags can get you a lot of levels very quickly.
Yep, and we've already seen VReznor grab one, and that's also going to put Dark Magician in the same area. And hey, we've also found the entrance to the Valley of Death.
Yep. Not so useful right now, but certainly useful later.
Hi, Pan.
What's up, Pan?
And another 500-point P-bag there for VReznor. That's going to put him really close to, well, of all things, Life 5. But I don't think we're going Life 5 this early.
I've seen that strat before, especially a lot of newer players will use that strat, so. But you're right, typically I wouldn't want to go higher than Life 4 in the early game.
Very nice slink there to get through the desert for the most part, but it's not going to be rewarding as we run into some mountains here.
Yeah, I think he's explored everything that he can see without going through a cave, so.
Going to use the shield spell again, and remember, only in Zelda do you change your shirt color and get more defense.
So he's heading through this cave. Hopefully it'll spit him out somewhere new.
Yeah, because that's the Valley of Death cave, right?
No, actually, that's the cave that takes you up to Darunia.
The north of Nibiru. I'm so used to the all keys that when I see monsters, I associate monsters with the caves, not the cave shape.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, we found Old Kasuto.
Deciding not to go get the spell? I'm not sure why. It's a free spell. Very curious decision.
I'm a little confused. Maybe he just wanted to go to that tile, counter tile real quick.
Now he's going back, yeah. He might have been afraid of the Moa, especially with the low health. But he has the shield spell and he picked up a 1-up. He'll be able to get it this time with a full health bar.
Yep.
He had very little health that last time, so.
Yeah, let's take a look at what we're going to get here from the spell and the life spell.
The life spell, yeah, gotta be happy about that.
Yep, and also speaking of things you have to be happy about, Dark Magician happy about getting a 500-point experience bag.
That Moa really just being very annoying to be VReznor on his way out. That fairy makes up for it though a bit.
Dark Magician realizing this is Palace 6. I don't want to deal with this right now.
Yeah, way too early to be thinking about Palace 6, especially with no downstab, no glove, no fairy spell.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, because kind of most of that's going to be pretty much required to get through Palace 6. And it looks like Dark Magician running into the same problem that VReznor was running into earlier, being without going through a cave, there's not a whole lot to explore.
Yeah, and VReznor's running out of stuff to check out as well. He's checking out the upper corner here.
Yeah, because right now it's looking like we're going to be needing some boots here.
Well, and he finds Darudia Pass, so that could take him somewhere. But you're right, it is looking like boots might be necessary. It should also be noted that there are still some caves to explore on the other continents. And also, we don't know what the item in Palace 1 is yet. Both of which would be low-hanging fruit at this point.
Oh yeah, 3, 2, 4.
So we see VReznor maybe looking for another cave? Can't get past the river monster right now.
And we found Palace, well, we're not sure if it's 2 or 3 either, because we just keep getting red jars.
Seems like it's probably 2.
Oh no, I like that deep blue color palette there.
Yeah, it was looking pretty good. So I think we're going to see him go in this cave and try to get somewhere else. Really going heavy on this continent here. Trying to.
Yeah, and this is one of those interesting points that can be brought up when it comes to pretty much any randomizer that involves this, whether it be like Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Dragon Warrior, anything that really involves a lot of overworld exploration, is the fact of at some point you have to realize you can't be stubborn and just move on, but at the same time you also have to be willing to adapt to what the game is going to give you. And that's one of those skills that when you watch a randomizer, you don't realize is actually going on until you've actually played one. And I can say that because, I was doing a lot of my commentary during Zelda 1. I'm like, oh, they should be doing X, Y, Z. And then you play a randomizer and realize, well, this is why they weren't doing X, Y, Z.
Yeah. Yeah, it's oof. VReznor staring a Tektite in the face. Oh, there could be Moas in this room. He better cast shield, yeah. Those eyeballs hit pretty hard as well, so not an easy room by any means.
And Dark Magician getting probably, as strange as it is to say, one of the more useless items in Zelda 2 Randomizer, a 1-up.
Yeah, 1-up's not super useful. We also saw VReznor take this cave out to a dead end. You can't be happy about that.
Nope.
I would have probably abated that point, although he does have a lot of experience that he probably doesn't want to lose.
Yeah, and that's another thing, in the randomizer such as this, where you have experience, like, okay, do I up-A and lose it all, or do I, trudge on something that's, may or may not be worth it?
Yeah, that's the constant struggle, is trying to get levels, but not wanting to spend a whole lot of time doing it. And we see Fairy Town on Dark Magician's screen, but unfortunately can't really do much here. Looks like he's just going to refill his health. And VReznor losing that experience anyway to a game over, so...
So we're finding more cities here.
I like Dark Magician's strategy because he's now found Shield Town, so that could be an important spell. If it's something like Fairy, that would help him immensely.
Well, we know that it's going to be something in the category of good, decent, and above, because we've already seen Shield and Fire, so it's going to be something worth it. The last on the quote-unquote bad spells would be the spell. That still would get him an item out of New Kasuto, and of course, what do you think it is? It's Fairy.
Nice. So Fairy Spell is a great find. Never unhappy to see that, and I bet we'll see Dark Magician start to tackle some palaces.
Oh yeah.
In fact, we see look at where VReznor is.
Are we back in 1?
He's back in 1. He's going for the item. So he just took a little detour, I guess, to buff his levels and get some spells, and now we're back.
I mean, it's not an overly bad decision, considering, you know, okay, we found the end. It's like, you know, when you're in Z2 Randomizer, early Triforce, we'll grab it, we'll come back and get the item later.
Yeah, yeah. YOLO strats usually don't work as well in Z2 Randomizer. Really depends on how many items you're missing.
Yeah,
as to whether you want to do that.
And I'm definitely of the fact of where, you know, it's a sort of linear or non-linear, linear sort of dungeon path thing. I know it's a weird description, but I would definitely be like, no, I'm here, we're going to go over. And we found Magic Cave for Dark Magician, and it's rewarding him with, well, not magic, but life.
Heart container, yep. So lots of heart containers and magic containers for these players so far.
Yep, and VReznor grabbing what we normally in the all keys route affectionately refer to as one of the fairies of shame, but no shame in grabbing a fairy in Randomizer.
No, absolutely not.
And Blue Stalfos being all sorts of horrible there, and finally managed to jump over the Stalfos once, and there we go, and we're going to grab a key as well.
So he was key blocked before. I wonder if he'll go back, or looks like he's probably just going to keep going this way.
Well, considering you have to enter from the left-hand side to get the item anyway, going left is the right call.
Yeah, absolutely. There are 2 dead ends left. One of them will just be a key, and the other one will be the item. So if the item's not here, then you'll have to go back to that key room.
And we have found the underground path that would normally take you to Island Palace in the vanilla game.
Ah, and here we do have the item, so we'll get to see what this this item in Palace 1 is.
I love the Pogo Stalfos there. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy.
Yeah, he's bouncing all over the
place. It's the glove!
Oh, wow.
Wow, early glove. For the love of glove.
What a find.
That's huge.
What a find. That is very huge. Gotta be happy about that. It's interesting because he has the glove and Dark Magician has the fairy spell, so I'd say this is still pretty even, all things considered.
Yeah, at this point, basically the only advantage that VReznor has is the fact that he's already gemmed out of Palace 1. And why isn't he... Oh, I must say, why isn't he up Aing? But he's got 600 experience, that's why.
He's got all that experience again, yeah.
Yep.
He wants to grind it out. I can't say I blame him for that.
No, absolutely not. You're this close, I'd do it. Of course, I say that and I haven't beat the vanilla game, so...
So I was thinking that we were going to see Dark Magician start to head towards Palace 1, perhaps. Did he ever get downstab, I wonder? I wasn't paying super close attention. He could have gotten downstab. Doesn't look like he did, actually.
I don't believe he did. I didn't see him go back to Maida. Maida would be the real name of Fairy Town.
Well, if I were him, I would go to Palace 1 or downstab. It looks like he's going to Palace 1. It's a good move on his part.
Yeah, and we know it's a really good move because there's glove.
So VReznor just diving right into the next level, which is, this is level 3, I believe we decided.
We'll figure that out in a minute here. Yes, it is. There we go. That Iron Knuckle confirms it.
Now, this is interesting because he does not have downstab yet, and certainly possible to beat Rebenek with downstab, but not recommended. I think he's trying to grind up that experience, though.
Not a bad call, I mean, considering you got a 50-50 shot at getting the Iron Knuckle here. And it's a juicy 150 experience points every time you kill it. And now he's going to get that attack forward and probably up A to refill his life, or just continue on. Okay, just continue on to Palace. No big.
Interesting choice.
He's got that key, so...
Now, he does not have fairies, so he could very easily get key blocked. This is not a good sight for him either. Meanwhile, Dark Magician fighting Horsehead.
Yeah, trying to kill Blue Iron Knuckles without downstab.
Certainly doable.
Yeah, but
tricky.
Not fun.
The trick, as is the trick with most things in this game, is to just be aggressive. If you don't give them enough time to throw knives, then they won't throw knives. So you just got to get in there and hit them fast.
We do have a Horsehead kill, I believe, from Dark Magician. Now he is going to delve into the rest of the dungeon to find the item, which is an absolutely awesome move because we know it's Glove. And then he's going to go off and place the gem afterwards, which is also a good idea because he's going to maximize his experience.
He'll need to be a little bit careful with his magic/key situation. I've definitely done the thing where I spend the key from the boss and then I don't have enough magic to cast fairy to place the gem, which is never a fun time.
Yeah, and there's a Medicine Cave for VReznor, and he's going to find the cross.
Alright. That'll make his next trip to the Eastern Continent a little easier. Probably wishing he'd found that sooner.
More than likely.
Considering how much those MOAs gave him trouble.
Yeah, but when do MOAs not give people trouble? I mean, they're flying eyeballs with flaming poops.
Yeah, the fiery poops are very powerful.
Yep. And there is the Palace 1 fairy again, this time for Dark Magician. And we're going to continue on our search for items. Now, I don't recall, has VReznor found Palace 2 yet?
I think he has. I'm wondering what his next move is going to be. If he's going to go to Palace 2, or if he's going to try to make his way up north, because that is where the fairy spell is. And downstab.
Yeah, it's always very interesting to see the overworld running that people decide to do.
It makes a big difference, and I don't know that there's any real general strategy. You know, it's basically wander around until you find what you need.
Yeah, and that's one thing I was going to ask is, having never myself played a randomizer where the overworld is shuffled like this, or completely, remixed, it's a little bit interesting, although I would imagine the same concept applies to a completely randomized overworld that would, same thing to like a completely randomized or shuffled shaped dungeon. I would imagine it's the same concept. Wander around, follow to certain patterns that you can expect to see, and just go from there.
Yeah, I've heard of people doing the clockwise strats where they'll just find the nearest border and go around in a circle. I myself, I guess I try to use a bit more of a zigzag strategy, but it's so irregular that it's hard to consistently do something like that.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where, like we mentioned earlier, just being able to adapt and go where the game tells you to go. Like, for example, the game is telling VReznor that he's going into Palace 2.
Yep, and Dark Magician picked up the glove, so he'll be finishing up Palace 1 here very shortly.
But the advantage that Dark Magician has right now is the fairy spell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm worried we're going to see VReznor get key blocked here sooner or later.
We've already seen him get blocked from one place. And it looks like Dark Magician is making his way back towards the exit of Palace Bubble Pop here.
Yep, not quite enough experience, but I guess he's just gonna call it and go through anyway.
At this point, you can just get up to your 680 and head on through to the other side.
It's usually relatively safe to burn one gem, use one gem inefficiently, and still come out all right with your leveling. If you start burning too many, though, you really run the risk of being underleveled at the end of the game.
Yeah, but I definitely think that that's the absolute right call, though. It's just not waste the more time leveling, just to get that one out of the way and go continue on.
So I bet we'll see him heading over to level 2 as well, perhaps?
I would.
Or maybe he's trying to find downstab.
But yeah, definitely. I would say if you know where Mido is, you 100% you go and you get downstab.
Oh, absolutely. I believe the players have also found all of the items on the Western continent except for one, which is trapped behind a boulder, so...
Right, and we did see what that boulder was already, if my memory serves me correctly.
So VReznor looking for that item. Dark Magician going into Palace 3.
Interesting. Well, the only thing he is missing here is downstab. He's got Fairy, which will allow him to go ahead and pass through anything that might block his path. And he's got the gloves,
yeah.
So I mean, only having the Fairy spell gives him a little bit of an advantage here over what Reznor had, but still, we've got this Blue Iron Knuckle gatekeeping Palace 3 here, so... And now he's being joined by Astolfos. Ha ha ha! Ha ha! Game, you're funny.
Almost might be better to ferry over those guys at this point.
It depends. Have we seen how much experience the blue one's worth yet?
No, we have not. Now, Dark Magician has found Helmet Head over here. I don't remember him finding the item in Palace 2.
I didn't see it either. A nice P-bag drop there from the red Stalfos, but looks like okay, he is going to go grab it. Good call. Grab that so you don't waste it when this blue Iron Knuckle ultimately kills you. And that's not a knock on Dark Magician. That's a knock on it's a blue Iron Knuckle. They're a pain. And we are going to get a gem placement from Reznor in Palace 2, which is going to get him up to attack 5.
Yep. So he's cruising right along.
It looks like we're entering back in for the Great Item Hunt. And, oh, Dark Magician just says, you know something, I'm tired of you, Blue Iron Knuckle. I'm just going to power on through. And, oh, hey, look!
Yeah.
Miss Robes!
Interesting choice by Reznor here. He has the glove, so there aren't many items that he really wants to find. Maybe the magic key or the hammer would be the most useful at this point. The boots, of course, I guess, but none of those items has been proven to be required as of yet. So.
No, but we still haven't found where Maze Island is over on the east, so it's looking like we might need either hammer, flute, or boots to find that. So that could be what's going through his mind.
And he did find the item relatively quickly.
He
but he's
have a key.
Oh no.
The troll is real from the game.
And Dark Magician continuing to show us why you shouldn't go into Palace 3 without downstab. Oh my goodness. He's found the item room if he can somehow make it past this Doom Knocker, which I don't think is going to happen, unfortunately.
I just hit the...
Does he have a life?
I hit the fairy button at this point. Yep.
He does have lives, so that's good. Yeah, there he goes. Ferrying right over that guy.
This is the boots!
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice find.
That's probably the best item you could have hoped to find here.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like you're a little bit ahead of me, so I'm going to reset VReznor and Dark Magician streams here real quick.
And Dark Magician here, just sort of standing here contemplating life, standing in front of the statue. I would imagine he's trying to figure out, do I stay or do I go? And
yeah, trying to decide what his next move is.
But it's, you know,
I mean, now that he's got the boots, it's so easy for him to pop up to the north side and find downstab. He can just walk right around. So, thought about going in, decided against it. I think that's the right move. Taking the raft, okay.
Very interesting.
Deciding to use his boots on the eastern continent.
And the item in Palace 2 is a magic container.
So probably not worth the time that it took to find that item, but Dark Magician being rewarded with the Darunia town, so he can get upstab, either deciding not to or he doesn't know the trick.
Oh, what, Fairy Claws?
Yeah, Fairy Claws trick. Relatively new trick. Super easy to do as well.
Yeah, you just go up and just keep going down. And Flute! There's the other item we were talking about possibly needing. Are you kidding me?
Alright, there it is. So I'll be honest with you right now, I have no idea which of these runners is ahead. VReznor is ahead in the gem count, but Dark Magician clearly winning the item and spell battle.
I gotta give the edge to DM for one reason only, and that is the fairy spell.
Yep, that is a very important spell. Finding the medicine, so even more reason to get your butt back to Mido already. And also finding TGE's favorite town.
Welcome to Nabooru, everybody. And the thing is, I really can't even rant about this because it's gonna be something decent. Unless, of course, it's spell. Then I can rant about it all I want. But this lady is super lazy. We're gonna get her some water. We're gonna give back to the water. She was 20 feet away from the water, but we're gonna get a spell out of it. Hopefully it's thunder.
Or reflect would also be nice.
Thunder, thank you very much.
It sure is.
And
oops,
that's a really cheap thunder in Magic 2. 67?
Yeah. So I wonder if we'll see him casting that a bit more often here.
I mean, I don't see why he...
VReznor... Oh, he decided to take a cave. That might be a smart move on his part, because if this dumps him in the right place, he could get the fairy spell, perhaps.
And with the fairy spell, that would push him not quite... it would push him at least a lot closer, because fairy is kind of a big deal.
Oh yeah, it sure is. And he's found Mido, but does not have the medicine or any way to get down stabs, so not much for him here.
Continue on our merry way, and now we can see the Moa here in Old Kasuto, and that's going to give Dark Magician the life spell.
Yep. VReznor finding Magic Cave, which I think was just a magic container, if I'm remembering correctly.
Heart container.
Heart container, okay.
I believe. Yep. Dark Magician fighting another one-up.
So did he get the fairy spell? I believe he did, right?
Who?
No. Oh, VReznor is about to get the
he just found Raura right now, so he's gonna get fairy.
Just walked in. So that's gonna put things much more in VReznor's favor, especially if he decides to go back and grab downstab, which I really hope to see him do.
I'd be 100% doing it.
I would have done it probably about 20 minutes ago.
Well, Reznor just got Fairy. He couldn't do it till right now.
That's true, yes. That's very true.
And we have finally found the path to Maze Island for Dark Magician. It looks like it's either a cave entrance or boots required, so that's fun.
Yep. Fairly certain we'll see VReznor finding the boots here pretty shortly as well. Looks like he's also heading back to Mido. So here's our first item.
And wait, the magic container's where it's supposed to be. Egg!
Oh no.
Had to do it at least once.
VReznor doing what I wanted to see. Going back and grabbing downstab. 45 minutes in and we have our first downstab.
But first, we're going to stop at the old lady's hut to get our magic refilled.
Using the fairy trick to make his way up there.
And there's the downstab, which now I think puts Reznor back in the lead.
I would say so at this point, yes. If I were Dark Magician, I would... Well, I might look for the second item here like he's doing, but then I would probably up A and definitely get over to Mido and clear Palace 2 and 3 as soon as possible.
I 100% agree. He's already got the item out of 3. We know that the last item, the item in 2 is going to be the last magic container that he doesn't have. So at this point, we know that he's basically in gem and go mode.
Yeah. All he really needs is the reflect spell, and then he's got everything he needs to beat the game.
Right, and I mean, it is possible that one of the items he needs to get the reflect spell is in a dungeon. We just know it's not in any of the dungeons here.
Reznor being kind enough to go have a little chat with Bagoo, even though totally not necessary for this seed. Wouldn't want him to be lonely though. Dark Magician does have medicine. Thank you, Phil, for reminding me.
When did DM pick up the medicine?
He found it in the water tile spot with the boots.
I thought the water tile was the flute.
Oh, it was the flute. It was the desert tile. I apologize. Yeah, the desert tile had it. So this tile is gonna be, I don't even know. This cave will be, what? The hammer? The magic key?
Magic key.
Yeah, so not a bad item, certainly.
Well, it's now
Especially
no longer an issue.
Yeah, he's got 5 palaces to go, so he'll certainly get a lot of mileage out of that magic key.
Contemplating an up A here.
That's what I would do.
I absolutely agree. You've got both items. So at this point, the only item you could possibly need for overall exploration is the hammer. You might still need, you know, the trophy or the kidnapped child, assuming you get a spell, but...
But you've still got spells you could get, well, you still have the one you can get in Mido, at least, so...
Yeah, you can't get a spell in Mido, because that requires the medicine.
He's got the medicine. Dark Magician does.
Oh, he does, that's right. I don't remember him grabbing the medicine, so...
Well, you'll just have to take my word for it.
I tend to believe anyone when doing these things. I get all kinds of... Wait, there's all kinds of shiny moving pictures. What's going on?
So he does make the move to up A, which is good. Let's see where he decides to go. Not sure what VReznor is looking for at this point. Dark Magician seems to be looking for Mido, but also seems to not remember where it is.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm watching this and I'm like, I'm lost. I'm absolutely lost.
Well, Mido is on the northern half of the map. He's either going to need to take a cave or use his boots to go around the mountains to get to it. And here he goes. Putting those boots to good work. Oh, but he can't, actually. It's blocked, so he does have to take a cave to get up there, it appears.
But does he remember where the cave is?
Yeah, I'm not even sure I remember where the cave is.
I certainly don't.
Reznor heading into 3, I think that's a good move for him.
But of course, we have that gatekeeping blue Iron Knuckle, but hey, Jackhammer!
Yeah, he knows the strat. Yeah. Alright, so he did finally make it up. He's actually very close to Mido. He should be getting there very soon.
There we go. And Reznor contemplating Magic 4 and opts to take it there. Interesting choice. I mean, I understand the concept of getting the refill there, but okay, getting the 200-point P-Bag is definitely going to help. What I was about to say is it's interesting to go for that when you're not sure how much experience you're going to get in a palace like this.
Yeah. Yeah, and 3 was relatively short, I think. Well, actually, nobody's found Rebanek yet, so...
Right, but Dark Magician found the boots here and opted to not go after Rebanek, probably because he didn't have downstab, which he's acquiring now.
Yep. And we see VReznor, actually, about to find the boots as well. He can make it past this pesky Doom Knocker.
Which he does with a palm.
Have to be one of my least favorite enemies in the game.
Oh, not quite enough MP to get the fairy through. Wow, the game is all sorts of trolling right now.
So one thing that you could do here is try to Death Abuse. That would refill your magic.
Or you could hope for a blue jar.
And we're about to see what the spell
Jump!
is. Not what he was hoping for. This means that either the trophy or the child are required to get the Reflect spell. And at least one of those is behind a rock. So, potentially hammer required, but have not. There's still a chance that it might not be. So here's the boots for VReznor. Be happy to see those, I'm sure.
I'd be happy to see boots let me walk on water. Think of the money you could make with that.
Alright, so Dark Magician heading to 2, I assume?
I would imagine
He's in really good shape. He needs to start clearing palaces here.
Yeah, at this point, just going in and clearing palaces is the absolute right call here. And if I'm Dark Magician, I would just, go in and just blitzkrieg the gems and just get your attack up as much as possible. And, in this case, considering it's in Magic 2, if you happen to get Magic 3 along the way, do it.
Well, the one thing to be aware of is, with the palaces, is that if they do need the hammer, which is looking fairly likely that they will need the hammer, that's got to be in either Palace 4, 5, or 6 at this point. So, based on what we know. And they know even less than what we do. So, it still might be to their advantage to hunt for items if they've thought far enough ahead to realize that the hammer is potentially required here.
Yeah. So Dark Magician is going to get his 8th and final magic container, so he has got full MP. For those playing the counting game at home, that's 128.
Yeah, and with Thunder being cheap, I would be thundering everything all over the place if I were him.
I have no problem being a spam bot. And
oh, I forgot about the Nukasudo item. There could also be
yes, but
an item in there.
Yes, but at that point, if the item we need is in Nukasuto, potentially, then the trophy or the child is still required, or both are required.
Oh yes,
those are the only 2 spells we have left.
Yes, that's right.
And
that's
we
true.
found Rebo.
Well, that means by process of elimination that the Nukasudo item is probably something useless like a heart container.
More than likely, because can the Nukasudo item be either the kid or the or something like that?
No, it cannot.
Okay. So
no, it cannot.
So can those items can be in palaces though, correct?
Those items can only be on the overworld, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the medicine, the trophy, and the child can only be on overworld spots. Yep. So any of the 4 caves on West Hyrule or the grass tile, the 2 spots in Death Mountain, the water tile or the desert tile in the east, or the 2 spots on Maze Island are the only places where those.
Well, at this point, I think then we're looking like we do need the hammer, because I believe the only spots we haven't checked are the 2 that require the hammer to get to.
I think you might be right, yeah. I think you might be right. So, VReznor grinding, I assume. And you can kind of see the disadvantage of taking Magic 4 is that magic cost grows pretty significantly around that time.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's one of those things where Magic 4 with 6 containers or Magic 2 with 8, are they the same or are they not the same? And that's another palace being wasted for its max upgrade. So that's very interesting here.
Yeah, VReznor looking to be in a little bit of trouble for leveling, but not terrible yet. He can still bring it back.
I mean, in reality, attack 7's really what you need. Attack 8 just makes it easier.
Yes, that's right. I'm perfectly happy going into... And look at that, Jump Town. I don't think we'd found Jump Town yet, had we?
No, we had not found Jump Town, but we can't do anything in Jump Town. We don't have a trophy.
Is there another cave down here as well, I wonder? But we found all the... Have we found Trophy Cave yet?
No, we haven't.
Because I bet that's what this is. No, it's Heart Container Cave. We found this cave. I think they looped back around somehow. I wasn't paying...
Maybe Dark Magician found it, but VReznor did not, so we know what's in it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So Trophy Cave is the one that's blocked by the boulder, and it's got either the trophy or the child.
Yes, Ryan is me. I am doing commentary and chatting and copious amounts of other things because I have 2 monitors.
Sounds like you were having a little snack over there, too.
I have some, like I said, it's 1 in the morning and I ate dinner at like 5, so I'm a little hungry. I am actually eating some smoked Gouda Triscuits right now. They are as amazing as they sound.
Getting fancy over at TGE's house.
Well, the Triscuits were 2 for $5, and I'm like, and my mother's like, I want to try these balsamic ones. I happened to be with her at the store. She's like, but I'm like, I don't know if my mom, they're 2 for $5. I want to try the smoked Gouda ones. I'll buy you the Triscuits. So, because I wanted smoked Gouda Triscuits, I bought TGE Moms and Triscuits.
And so we see Dark Magician finishing up Howie Mandel. Opting to go back and grind a little bit. Well, having some second thoughts. It seemed queuing up that Thunder Spell. That's what I like to see.
All kinds of Buddha and Bada puns in the chat right now, and I am not ashamed of any one of them. Yes, Ryan, is me, Howie Mandel. One of the things that we sort of did is, this isn't the first Zelda 2 tournament that has taken place the past year. There was the 100% All Keys tournament, and with something like that where the route is the same over and over again, you have to, as a commentator, find ways to make things a little bit more interesting. And one of the things that I did was I tried to give nicknames to things, and Helmet Head there reminded me of Howie Mandel, just this big, shiny, bald head. So that's where the nickname came from. And I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to be 100% honest here. I realized this doing commentary for the last race earlier today is that Helmet Head never wanted to be a Palace Guardian. All Helmet Head ever wanted to do in his life is he just wanted to be a hair model with that long, flowing, Fabio-style hair. And he was well on his way to getting that contract until an unfortunate accident with a curling iron. And well, now you see what the results are.
That is a great story.
Yeah, see, I happened to get the script to a Helmet Head True Hollywood Story, so I'm sharing with you guys a little bit. If you want to hear more, though, you're going to have to tune in later.
Trying to sell the rights to that to a TV station or something?
Yeah, I think TMZ might pick it up.
Meanwhile, it looks like we had VReznor grabbing Upstab using Fairy Claws, so blink and you miss it. That is a fast trick to pull off, but a fun one.
Yeah, the fun thing about Fairy Claws is I hear that, and the first thing I think in my head is, okay, well, if you know the trick, it makes sense that it's Fairy being Santa Claus. But if you have no idea what the person's talking about and you hear Fairy Claws, the first thing that comes to my mind is that little teeny tiny fairy sprite just sprouting these gigantic demon claws and going,
Dark Magician just finished Palace 2, and he's on his way to Palace 3. VReznor taking the trip to Maze Island, meanwhile, gonna find, what was it, Maze Island? A heart container?
It was something irrelevant and something...
A magic container.
Oh, it was magic key and magic container.
And, yeah, that's right. So there's the magic container. It seems like VReznor did not get the Thunder Spell. He would have walked right past it, I believe. I also did not see him pick up the medicine.
Which is why he didn't get Thunder, because he doesn't have the proper stuff, right?
Oh, that's right. Thunder was in Mida.
Thunder was in Mida, yeah.
But the medicine was right near Darunia Town there, and he did not grab it.
Again, I'm going to have to take your word for it, because I never saw a DM grab it. So, we know he has it, obviously.
Yeah, there's a desert tile up in the swamp, kind of to the east of Darunia, with the medicine. gotta say, overall, this has been a pretty great race. These racers are not very far apart from one another. I might even give the edge to Dark Magician at this point, but it is really close.
Again, it's weird because VReznor has the 1 palace lead, but we're in that position where because DM has the Thunder spell, it's one of those things where completion over items. How do you judge? And the answer is honestly, you really can't until you get to Great Palace.
Yeah, well, and Dark Magician, though, he is about to finish up Palace 3, so that was another reason why I think he might be slightly ahead. But it's, like I said, it's really close at this point.
And I do want to apologize for turning your chat into a barrage of food puns.
I'm not mad at all. In fact, I encourage you to continue with the cheese puns.
No cheddar, 7-8, just bragging rights. Sorry, Cho. Gouda was the first one that we made because I made a comment about Gouda flavored Triscuits, so you're late to the party.
Alright, there's the key for VReznor.
Once we defeat the Los Alphos.
Dark Magician did beat Rebanak, but he's grinding, I believe, right now for some experience.
Which I 100% agree with here. But at this point, I think, considering it's 1870 to get to Life 7, I think you just have to take the gem and go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's getting to the point where... gosh... He's at Life 6, I guess that's why it's so high. He's been taking life levels like crazy. You know, I've often wondered, though, if you could even get away with doing Great Palace with Attack 6. I've been considering trying to use that strategy more, perhaps. The hardest part would be Thunderbird, of course. So it really depends on how comfortable you feel fighting Thunderbird.
Well, I don't feel comfortable fighting Thunderbird at all. And Dark Magician doesn't feel comfortable taking a lava bath.
Oh no.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call a segue. Not to be confused with that obnoxious little two-wheel device that you see tourists riding around on.
So I wonder where we're going to see VReznor go next.
Well, if I'm him, honestly, I avoid Palace 4 like the plague until it's absolutely necessary to go in without Reflect, and I try my luck at 5 or 6. At this point, because we don't have Reflect, 4 is the last place I want to be.
We haven't seen 5, to my knowledge. We have found 6.
And chat, I just want to inform you. If you think I'm actually going to stop making puns, you are sorely, sorely mistaken. I'm not going to force bad puns. But, you know, this is a Zelda tournament, so maybe trying and forcing it is a good thing.
Well, look at this. Is he going in?
I think he might be.
Interesting strategy.
It is. I mean, I guess it's not a bad draw because he's right here, but we know he knows he can't take out Karok. So the only thing he'd be hoping to do here is coming in here and finding an item that he needs. The only item that he could possibly get out of here that he needs is the hammer. So from a completely logistical, numerical standpoint, it's statistically an incorrect call to do this because at least 5 and 6, at least those palaces, you can get the gem out of it as well as search for the item.
Yeah, but if he does find the hammer, though, that would be huge.
Oh, absolutely.
That would be absolutely huge.
It's just from a purely strategic perspective, it's not the right call. And is DM back in Palace 3?
Yeah. Does he... He already got the item. I wonder if he remembers that he got the item earlier.
I don't think he does. No, he doesn't, because I'm taking a look at his little tracker. He doesn't have it written down.
Oh, no. Well... That's gonna cost him a few minutes. Fortunately, the item was not
right, he's
deep
right.
in Palace.
Yeah, he's
3.
right here, so he's already gonna realize, hey, I got this already. Oops!
Or he thinks it's a bug and he's cursing at me right now.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I mean, you were part of the Zelda 1 tournament. How many times did we curse Fred's name?
Oh, more than I could ever possibly count. And VReznor has found the item room in Palace 4, so we're about to see whether this gamble paid off or not.
Nope, that would be the candle we found, because that's the pea bag.
Oh.
Hey, got him attack
Well, it
6.
kind of did, though.
Yeah,
it kind of did pay off a little bit.
So,
wisely up-Aing.
guys, please stop. All these cheese puns have me feeling blue.
So yeah, Palace 5 or Palace 6 does seem like the next logical choice for either of these players.
Absolutely, and it looks like we're going to be heading there right now. And I believe this was 6? Nope, this one was 5. Okay then.
It is 5, yes. And we have the Dark Magician also entering right behind.
So does that mean we're getting the mythical high 5?
Yeah, they're one screen away from each other. Actually, the same screen now.
This is the kind of race we love. And oh, hey, look, false wall.
Just to illustrate how close it is, the only difference right now is the Thunder Spell and the knowledge that VReznor has about the item in Palace 4. That's it.
That is it. The best part about having the magic key in Palace 5, you can ignore the falling blocks room.
Oh yeah.
Every Zelda runner in existence is just in here. Yes.
And these runners are literally on the exact same part of the palace on my screen.
Yep, same thing. They just both went right out of the elevator.
Both recognizing that that room is a dead end.
Now both doing the same thing.
This is so much fun to watch right now.
Gooma here. So this is interesting.
Oh, wow.
Both of them opting to go into Gooma. VReznor definitely has the advantage in here going into the fight with attack 6 over attack 5. But
but life 6 on Dark Magician's side, though, is gonna give him more protection.
yeah, not if he keeps jumping into the old ball and chain there of Boss Gooma, though.
He does hit pretty hard, but with that high life level, you can almost tank him a little bit.
Especially with the life spell. And there we go, both of them getting the kill here. Oh, Gooma being very stingy with the experience here. Ugh.
Yeah, that's about as low as he can go.
The last race from earlier, the John Bloody Thumbs and Undead Phil race, Horsehead gave 20.
Yeah. Horsehead in the vanilla game only gives 50, so that's pretty low to start with.
Yeah, but seeing a boss give 20 XP is like, oh, that's hilarious. And there you see Dark Magician putting the Thunder Spell to good use to kill that Iron Knuckle on the top shelf there. And he's realizing, yeah, I can't go put that gem in and only get myself up to life 7. I have to get past the 1870 barrier. And I still have an item to find anyway, and that P-Bag drop is huge.
Oh wow, and VReznor has found the item room, so...
And let's see, hopefully it's the hammer, otherwise we're digging in 6, baby. It is the heart container, we're digging in 6!
Oh boy. Wow.
This is
What a seed.
This is great because it starts off like, oh, this seed isn't too bad. And then, no. And no.
And then the hammer's buried in 6, and all bets are off.
Yep.
So just to round out the items, we do know that the heart container is definitely in New Kasuto. And then the child and the trophy, one of them's on Death Mountain, the other one's in a hammer-blocked cave on the Western Continent. And that's the only items that remain.
And one of those 2 items is going to unlock the Reflect spell.
That's correct.
The other one of those items unlocks that heart container in New Kasuto.
Neither of those caves were very hard to get to, though.
No, they're
the hammer that's the
yeah,
hard.
the caves are just enough AOA.
So I'm not sure how he got to that item, but Dark Magician has not found it yet.
I wasn't paying attention either. And hello, Wallstalfos. Goodbye, Wallstalfos. And the only...
Alright, so...
We're gonna get attack
VReznor
7 here. Only 3770. That's pretty cheap for attack 7.
Yeah, that is relatively cheap.
So I'm gonna have to be honest here. I'm a little, behind the 8 ball when it comes to everything in the tournament. When we get into the later rounds of this, are the flags changing at all?
The only thing that we've guaranteed is that the final race will be done on the master difficulty setting.
That's the one that randomizes how many heart containers and stuff you start with and all that.
It doesn't do that option, actually.
Okay.
It doesn't randomize heart containers or lives, but it does everything else. If you randomize lives and heart containers, I mean, those would be some brutal races to watch, which maybe would make for good fun. I don't know, but it should be noted that the 2 racers can agree to turn on any additional options that they want. They are not required to use these flags.
Oh, this is just so there's no... so if, it's a race between people like, hey, let's do X, Y, and Z, we can do that. And hey, there's the medicine for that desert tile you were mentioning there.
Alright.
So that means Thunder Spell is finally going to happen for Reznor.
Yep. And yeah, getting back to what we were talking about before, you're absolutely right. It's up to the racers if they want to think of these as a baseline set of flags. If they want to add anything else in, they are welcome to do so. So I think we won't see that as much in the earlier rounds, but definitely I know in the later rounds, I'm going to start seeing if people want to mix it up a little bit.
And as a commentator, I'm just going to be here and like, oh, God.
So VReznor picking up the Thunder Spell here in Naburu. Dark Magician, meanwhile, finding that heart container in 5 and getting out of there. And these racers are really just very close at this point. Palace 6 is probably the next stop.
Well, Reznor knows that's the absolute next stop because he knows for a fact that the hammer's there.
Yes. Dark Magician could potentially conceive of going to 4, and that's a tough decision to make. Palace 6 is a large palace.
So, real quick, not to interrupt, this is interesting. Dark Magician ended up getting life 7, and then up aid before placing the gem.
Oh. That seems like a leveling error on his part.
I mean,
but,
that's the only reason he's going back. He would be going back.
Oh, no, actually, no, that wasn't a mistake on his part. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna...
I see, yeah.
He's gonna place the gem now. He kind of tried to double cash on it, I guess, a little bit. But it's going to work out quite nicely for him. I bet he'll get attack 6 out of
He
this.
absolutely will, because it's 2590 for attack 6.
So not a
No,
bad
and
move.
we know that he'll be able to get attack 7 as well, because we saw on VReznor's screen that it was going to be less than the 47 whatever it was for life 8.
Yeah, I've not seen this leveling strat before, but it's
Used to be
worked out very nicely for him. Alright, and there is Palace 5.
And there's the attack 6. So yeah, now it's a matter of Palace 6. And then, of course, it becomes which item is the one you need.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the one on the overworld, the one on the west continent, is a little easier to get, so you probably just get that one and hope it's the one. I don't remember seeing the rock on Death Mountain. But that could take some time to get to.
Yeah, so I'd absolutely do the first. Well, it's going to be Trophy Cave, because it's the only cave I see.
So these racers do know where Palace 6 is. Oh, it looks like VReznor is actually pretty close to Palace 6.
Yeah, Dark Magician would be like, what do I do when it looks like he's going to take the gamble to go into 4.
Yeah, you could see him thinking about
I mean,
it.
considering where he is, it's
Ultimately.
not a logistically incorrect choice.
No, I don't think it's a bad decision at all. It's just not going to work out for him this time, unfortunately.
No, but logistically speaking, it's not a bad choice at all. And did Rez just up A?
He just up A'd. I am not sure why. I wasn't really paying attention.
No, that's a little weird there.
He was very close to Palace 6, I thought.
Unless because he hasn't got the spell out of Mido yet, which is Jump.
Oh, yeah, so he might think that that's where
Yeah.
Reflect is.
Yep.
Yep. That's right.
Duran, that is what we know. It is Trophy Your Child block, based on knowing it's in Ruto or Darunia. We just don't know which one specifically. For those who are wondering what I'm talking about, that is the Reflect spell, which we do need again to keep Karok out of Palace 4. The only two places left it could be are in the town of Ruto or the town of Darunia, both of which require an item to get the spell out of, the Trophy and the Kidnapped Child, respectively.
Some nice combat skills from Dark Magician with that jackhammer.
Absolutely. And of course, for maximum trolliness here in this game, the hammer is going to be buried super deep in 6. The trophy is going to be in Trophy Cave. That's going to give us the spell. So we're going to have to go into Death Mountain to find the rock in Death Mountain to break, so we can get the giant.
That would be the trolliest outcome.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I Am Who I Am 1984. Fire was the first spell we saw in the game.
Yeah, we had fire by like 5 minutes in. So both of these racers about to be disappointed. We see Dark Magician about to pick up the P-Bag. And we see VReznor about to pick up the jump spell.
He's not going to be disappointed for this P-Bag, and I'll give him Magic 4.
Well, still disappointing if you go in there hoping it's the hammer.
True, but giving him Magic 4 means it's going to be a whole lot easier, because now he's got Magic 4, he only has to get to 1420 for Magic 5, and it's still going to allow him to get a End of Palace bonus from P6. You know it, J-Lo, you know it. All right.
Ray of Sunshine. To explain how the randomizer works, there is a seed number. So you plug the seed number into the program. If both players use the same seed number and the same options, then it will generate the same ROM. So we agree on the options and the number ahead of time, and then we both play the same seed.
Okay, Duron, we can absolutely do that here. In fact, we can give you an entire rundown of what's going on here in these flags. So on the randomizer, there are all kinds of different buttons we can push here. But these are the generic tournament flags. And the first thing that's going to do is every racer is going to start with a candle. So no caves are going to be dark, no wandering around aimlessly bumping your head. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to start with 4 heart containers, and the hints are normal. Nothing crazy here so far. The overworld, as you can see plainly, the overworld is completely new. Right? Then we're going to go to our palace section. The palace rooms have been shuffled. The pallets have been shuffled. You can shuffle the number of palace rooms to complete, whether or not Thunderbird is required to beat the game. In this one, we also have a shortened version of the Great Palace. And the one thing you're going to notice, you'll see a lot of our runners doing is when they go into a palace, they're just going to go in an up A, and that's to reset their lives, because normally when you game over in a palace, say for the Great Palace, you are going to be starting back in North Palace, but with this set of flags, you restart at the palace. Speaking of palaces, VReznor is in Palace 6, which is also this glorious bubble pop cake.
Yep.
All the experience levels are shuffled. The spell locations are shuffled. The magic container requirements are removed. The attack and life effectiveness are normal, but the magic, the MP for magic is shuffled. Overworld enemies are shuffled. Palace enemies are shuffled. Enemy HP, enemy experience, boss experience, all shuffled. The sword immunity enemies are shuffled, which means the enemy is unique to cast fire to kill. The item drop frequency is shuffled, so no more big 6 counts. Palace items, overworld items, mixed, those are shuffled. The overworld and palace items are mixed. Small items, all the keys, all items and keys are palaces, and the jar requirements for the new Kasuto Old Lady are all shuffled. Those are all of the options currently turned on here in the tournament flags for randomizer. Any of the more technical side of things, we're going to default to the guy doing commentary next to me. I can't say sitting next to me because we're definitely multiple states away, but he's kind of the guy who created the whole thing, so talk to him.
Yes, thank you for the rundown, and yeah, I'm always happy to answer any questions about the randomizer. So Dark Magician having a little trouble finding Palace 6 here. I'm pretty sure that's what he's looking for, though.
He has to. It's the only thing he could be looking for here. And being in Palace 6 early gives the huge advantage to VReznor. Although it's interesting because we have a 7-4-4 leveling, and we have 6-4-7, and now we do have Palace 6 being found here by DM. So this is interesting. What else is randomized in Master? Well, I could hit the button and find out, but I'm more interested in Dark Magician making his way through 6 and VReznor finding Volvagia, or Barba if you want to use its English name, and opting to nope on out of there because we still need to find the item.
Yeah, he turned around. It would still be nice to place that gem so you don't have to worry about it.
With Master, for those who are wondering, everything that I just said is included, as well as the amount of experience stolen from the things like tin suits, that's randomized. The large and small enemies are now randomized. The life refill amount that you get is randomized. Your attack and life effectiveness is randomized, which means your defense power and your attack power, all randomized. Short and Great Palace option is no longer checked. You allow palaces to swap continents, you shuffle encounters, and you allow unsafe path encounters. So Master Mode is basically, yeah, dude, you all kinds of crazy.
And there's no candle.
And there's no starting candle, so you gotta find that. And speaking of that, as you saw, if you were here, the item in Palace 4 was a 500-point key bag. That is what happens when you start with the candle. A 500-point key bag gets shuffled into its place. And I'm assuming it's the same thing for every item that you start with.
Yes, that's correct.
Of course, the only reason you start with all the items is because you want easy mode.
You know what? I fully encourage people to play on easy mode as long as it gets more people playing Zelda 2. That's what's important.
And Dark Magician here coming across Volvagia. And interesting, Volvagia having not a whole lot of health here, starting with only 5 bars of health with the randomized boss HP.
And going with the jumpless strats.
I've been seeing that a lot recently. I have yet to see actually anyone fighting Volvagia in this tournament when I've been watching. Of course, I haven't seen all the matches, but everything I've seen so far has been the conservative jumpless strats here. I'm still waiting for a jackhammer myself.
I think it's actually more difficult without jump. Certainly doable, but harder, I think.
It's probably definitely more difficult, but at the same time, it's also definitely more conservative because you're not having to worry about jumping high, getting knocked back by the fire. By staying firmly on the ground, you can easily position yourself to avoid Barba's flame breath.
And look what we have here on VReznor's screen. Yep.
Stop. Hammer time.
So he's got to be happy about that.
And just going to up A to get to Barba. Not a bad call, honestly.
12 game overs is really good on a Master Seed Legend. That's, you know, I'm usually 8 or 10 per seed as well, so. So VReznor still does need to go back and place the gem, I believe.
Yes, it looks like he's trying to get an Iron Knuckle to spawn here. And
Dark Magician did not.
I agree with what he's doing here. Grind it up so that he can get the attack 7. Then he's going to go back in afterwards to find the item. I like this call.
Yeah, I agree with that
because
as well.
we know once he gets the item here, he's going to up A anyway.
Yep.
So I 100%
Just
agree.
get out of dodge.
I 100% agree with this call. It's the absolute right move. Really? Didn't go? Oh, he's just going to go straight for life 8 here.
Interesting.
No, I like this actually. I really do like this because that puts life 8 out of the way, and now you're just guaranteed to go for attack. I like this actually.
Well, he's only got 1 palace left, so.
True, but all he's going to need is to attack 7 more than likely, because I know a lot of the routes, at least in the all keys route, a lot of people went 7-8-8 as opposed to 8-8-7. So attack 7 is perfectly doable here, and
no, attack 7 is perfectly fine. I agree with that.
I like this. I like this call from Dark Magician. Of course, I'm also someone who tends to play very passively, very defensively, anyhow. So, but I really do like this call.
It's also worth noting that with the 8 magic containers, magic 4 is probably fine. The randomized magic spells usually have an effect of making them a little bit less than normal overall. So, magic becomes less important actually towards the end of the game.
This block room here is giving VReznor a little bit of trouble here. She's going to have to go back and use the jump spell. Charbadaba, you should cheer for Dick Shake because he's the creator of this. That's who you should cheer.
Cheer for all racers. This is a great race, I have to say. These racers have been very close the whole time.
Yeah, this race is absolutely glorious. And falling down infinite pits. Hey.
This is the right way, though, I think.
I love the fact that we fall onto a ceiling. That's great.
If I remember correctly, this is the right way for Dark Magician to go to get to the item. He's pretty close. I think he's really just a few rooms away.
I do love this room, by the way, because this is the first. Earlier today in the other race was the first time I'd seen this room that Dark Magician is in, and I didn't realize that this room didn't have any blue in its color palette. So I'm like, wait, why is there a gray Iron Knuckle? What's going on?
Yeah, that is something that I could easily fix, but I kind of like it.
Gray Iron Knuckle looks scary, yeah.
So round 2 on Barba for VReznor. Didn't see what happened to him last time.
Barba won.
Probably got knocked into the lava.
Yeah, basically he jumped and landed in the lava. And we found our way to the falling block.
Contemplating whether to take it. I think that's the right move. Honestly, I don't really remember exactly how to get to the hammer.
I was watching the Barba fight while the hammer was happening, so but looks like it's the right path.
Yep.
There's Rebo. Well, legend, the orange Focas come when a red Foca and a yellow Foca mash together into one very, very interesting orange Foca.
The true answer to that question is that they were actually in the game code, but the programmers removed them from the actual game for whatever reason, and so I found the game code in there and decided to put them back in.
This is what happens when you give nerds toys. Awesome.
So Dark Magician, I think, has officially taken the lead by getting the hammer, but not by much. VReznor is just trying to grind. I think he's done.
Oh yeah,
so
he's gonna get his attack 8 here, which that's the interesting thing is they're both pretty much even. It just, does life 8 give Dark Magician the advantage, or does attack 8 give Reznor the advantage?
So Reznor is, yeah, that's a good question. I actually don't know. I think attack 8 is better from a speed perspective.
And there's the child.
So it'll be interesting to see what he does here. If he bolts straight for Darunia, or if he takes a little trip to Death Mountain.
Duran, both of our runners have downstep. Reznor has just been choosing to, for some reason, not use it. And if I'm Dark Magician to answer your question, Dig, I 100% go to Darunia. Because if you don't have to dig through Death Mountain, take the chance on Darunia, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not that hard to get there either, so...
Yeah, it looks like DM is opting for the, like, what do I do? And yep, making the right choice here, going to Darunia. 100% agree with this call, because if it's Reflect, you're good. You're right over in the area you need to be anyway. If it's not Reflect, hey, you up and you're right back to where you are.
Alright. Dark Magician's gonna make it there first.
And the question has been asked in chat, Dig, have you played a Master Seed with Candle in Death Mountain yet?
Oh, absolutely. I've played Master Seeds with the Candle in Palace 6 before. If you're gonna play on something like that, you gotta be comfortable to go potentially the whole game without the Candle.
And here we go, and it is... There it is! It is the Reflect spell!
Oh, wow.
Reflect in its normal home, in its normal hole. Dig!
So... these runners, I'm sure, are very glad that Reflect is there, so that they will not have to go back into Death Mountain.
Yeah, this is actually a huge neck-and-neck race here. This is going to come down, honestly, to Great Palace routing.
Well, we still have Palace 4 left as well.
But it's half done for both of them.
That's true.
Dark Magician opting to take the water path here, and I 100% agree with this, because there's no overworld encounters that are going to spawn here. He can just, leisurely, casually walk to where he needs to go, using the game mechanics to your advantage, everybody.
Alright, here we go. Palace 4.
This is gonna be a good one.
Both players playing very well, too. We're only 90 minutes in, which is really good, considering that they had to dig the item out of Palace 6.
Considering this is basically a 100% item seed.
Yep, everything but the trophy. And one heart container.
And the spell. So you see the varying paths that both of our runners are taking here to get to Palace 4. Dark Magician opting to take the downward path because he got the least trolly area. VReznor opting to take the faster one over the top to Fairy because he's like, I'm just going to up A and refill everything anyway.
Yep. I thought he might try Fairy Feet there for a second. I saw him try it earlier, but decided against it.
See, Fairy Feet, that's one of those things where you hear the name and you're like, what? And then you hear the story behind it and you're like, what? Because, you know, you hear the name and things tend to get named for strange and wonderful reasons. And then you hear a name for a trick called Fairy Feet. And then you get explained to what it is. It's basically the equivalency of screen wrapping in Zelda 1 is the base description. You basically exit one side and reappear on the other. And you're like, okay, that's cool. Well, why is it called Fairy Feet? But does it involve the feet of the fairy? No, it involves the fact that the guy who found the trick did it with his feet. And then you realize,
yep.
What?
Yep, that story is gonna be told for... I'm gonna tell it to my children and my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren.
And the story I'm gonna tell is, yeah, I raced Zelda 2 once, and I lost to a guy playing with his feet. And then I'm gonna show people videos of Crystal Saver, and they'll be like, yeah, no, you definitely just lost somebody playing with their feet. You would be incorrect, 7-8. TGE does not drink coffee. TGE does not only drinks tea if he wants to caffeinate, and we did have a Karok sighting here, and TGE drank none of that. TGE just got his second wind right now.
I think it was the Gouda Triscuits.
I think it was the fact that I took a quick run over to the clean laundry bin and took the jeans off and put on pajama pants, so I'm much more comfortable. And Dark Magician is going to be the first one out of Palace 4 here, and he's going to go, wow, he's going to Great Palace, 658.
Interesting choice. Just totally blowing that gem entirely, I guess.
Looks like we're trying Fairy Feet. We got some Fairy Feet action being tried here. And there it is, Fairy Feet! We were just talking about it!
Yeah, you got it. You got it. Oops.
Have we seen the entrance? Oh yeah, we did see the entrance to Valley.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Actually, pretty close to the raft spot. And VReznor right behind him. These runners no more than a couple minutes apart at the most.
So as it should be, this looks like it's coming down to Dark Link and T-Bird.
Yeah, more about finding them than fighting them.
Yeah, J-Lo, I first heard about that trick literally like an hour after it was discovered. I was smack dab in the middle of the discussion about it. It was not fun. And I say it was not fun because the whole discussion about it blew up my Discord and my Skype, and I was trying to take a nap, and it was not fun, and I was cranky, and I basically went into the Discord and said, look, I don't care about whether it's Fairy Feet, Stinky Feet, Elf Feet, just stop making me up! And we have more Fairy Feet happening, but oh, that one didn't work.
Yeah, actually, you won't see me trying that trick very much either. I can do it, but I'm not very good at it. And I feel like as bad as I am, it's probably actually slower than just going across.
And DM opting to take the death abuse there so we can get a full life for refill, because he is absolutely taking it up A when he goes into Great Palace.
Ah, he gets the Fairy Feet there.
Or maybe he's not taking it up A. Oh, there he is, yep.
VReznor not far behind him, about to walk into the Valley of Death himself.
I still like the potential translated name more. Valley of Dis just sounds so much better. but definitely getting to Great Palace first is going to be the advantage that Dark Magician needs, because he's coming in 2 attack levels lower. Having the 3 additional life levels is going to be huge, but I think that attack power is going to be the big thing here. So getting to Great Palace before VReznor is absolutely what DM needed here. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I mean, VReznor with only life 5 though, that's those Fakas can do a lot of damage. Whereas Dark Magician can be much more of a tank.
You know my favorite part about seeing these Valley of Death encounter tiles here? Is we never get to see these when you play the vanilla game. We never get to see these encounter tiles. Up until the first time I watched a randomizer, I had no idea what that even looked like. What's DM trying to do here?
He's trying to do a skip. It's if you can damage boost on top of the ceiling up there, and it allows you to either continue moving to the right if you want to, or coming back and falling into the pit there. But room's not really set up for it. Usually you want to see the dragon heads to do that trick.
Yeah, that's the same damage boost you can do in Jump Cave.
Yeah, it's very similar, yes. And so VReznor has now made it to Great Palace, so I think it's really anybody's race at this point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And can I say I'm a huge fan of Reznor's split here? Thunderbird! In all caps.
He used to have a great picture of Thunderbird on his stream. It looks like he's taken it off. I'm a little sad about that, but...
And I'm also a little sad that we have Fairy Feet as a trick name now, because I think Fairy Feet has to take the title for best name, but it takes it away from my favorite one, which was the Panic Dolphin.
Yeah. Might see some Panicked Dolphin here in just a few minutes.
Panic Dolphin, for those who don't know what we're talking about, is the basically the mashing of the attack button and rotating back and forth on Thunderbird to try and get as many hits as possible. What is Rez doing?
I think he's grinding. I'm not sure. You can't walk backwards through the barrier. He just found that out the hard way, I think.
Yeah, that's why I was...
Yeah, not many people are aware of that, actually, because how often do you try to walk out of the Great Palace?
I knew that due to commentary from Z2. I can't remember if it was Feasel or someone who told me, but I definitely knew about it.
You may go in, but the only way to leave is by getting a game over.
So what you're saying is that the Great Palace is like Hotel California?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay.
Gotta tell you, if I booked a room and I saw Thunderbird in there, I would probably try to get my money back.
Well, it depends. How good's the painting? I mean, is that Scott Bakula in Scott Bakula's room?
There are like 4 or 5 of those rooms, so maybe, yes. It's possible.
Yep, beat you to that one, 78. Sorry. Plenty of room at the Hotel California. It's only fair that we're talking about Thunderbird with Hotel California. There's got to be an Eagles joke in there somewhere.
Both racers taking a similar path through so far.
And to continue
wow. Oh no.
What?
2 of them.
Oh god, yeah. So to continue the theme of old school music, if this hunt for the penultimate boss here goes any longer, are we gonna have a fun till Ganon takes the T-Bird away?
Oh man, I did not see that one coming. At all, and I feel kind of silly that I didn't.
I have had that in the queue since the All Keys tournament, and I couldn't use it because the path was known.
One thing I just realized about Dark Magician is he never did get upstab, so the one place where upstab is useful is Great Palace, and he might be regretting that a little bit right now.
Just those bots treating VReznor just like he's they just I have no way of describing that except for
apparently he didn't like it so much that he's leaving.
He's going to grind with Thunder.
Oh, I bet that's, yeah, I bet, well, and changing his mind and going back?
He realized that there's not a lot of good things for me to kill in there. But you were right, that Life 5 coming back to haunt him.
Yeah, Life 7 is not bad for a Great Palace. Life 6 is, you're gonna be feeling it. Life 5 is gonna hurt a lot. Especially with, we've seen this is a, somewhat heavy seed with those bird knights, and they do a bunch of damage.
I think my favorite part so far is this is the second race of the permit I've seen. And I know the shorter Great Palace flag is checked. So far, neither of these have been shorter.
Oh, they have been. They have been. The actual Great Palace is very, very
Oh,
large.
I know. It's more along the lines of it doesn't feel shorter.
Yeah. Just to give you an idea how that flag works, original Great Palace has 57 rooms in it. So it's just absolutely huge. With that flag checked, it narrows it down to a minimum of 29 rooms, which is actually the same amount as level 5. So the same size as level 5.
Which is the second
Or up
largest
to a-
dungeon in the game, by the way.
That's right. Up to a maximum of, I believe, 46 rooms, I want to say? Somewhere in that ballpark. So, it is a significant reduction. I missed the bullets. Oh no, I remember seeing the bullets. That's another thing like the orange bakas that is in the game code, but was not actually used.
And just a real quick shout out here. Dig mentioned that there are 57 rooms in the normal Great Palace. That is actually a call out to the original Zelda 1 because Zelda 1 level 9 in First Quest has 57 rooms.
Oh wow, and look what we have here on Dark Magician's side.
Looks like a bot.
Well, he found Thunderbird actually in the very next room. The problem is, he's on his last life, and he does not have enough magic to cast Thunder. So I think he's going to be grinding this bot for blue jars.
He got the item drop, but he got the pea bag!
Oh, that's terrible. That's a 1 in 8 chance to get a P bag
Yep.
from that enemy.
I wasn't sure if he changed the percentages on that or not, so I didn't bring it up.
Well, no, I didn't. No. I did change how often those drop, so it'll be interesting to see if it's more or less.
Well, we're gonna find out soon.
Oh, chat just seeing the P bag and blowing up. Yeah, that was pretty trolly there, game.
Yeah, that's all kinds of ridiculous.
Meanwhile, VReznor has a chance to catch up.
Although I have to say, I'm a little upset right now because my favorite part of Great Palace we haven't seen yet.
Do I want to know?
Boss bot! There we go, there's the blue jar. Looks like it's on the same 6 count.
Now, does he have enough?
Looks like he does.
And if he does, he doesn't have enough to cast Shield or Reflect or anything else.
He
So
can cast Jump, maybe. Yep, he has enough for jump.
I feel safer without jump, actually, in this situation. Personally. But...
This is where that attack 6 is going to maybe come back to bite him. But the life, again, this is one of the situations where we were talking about earlier, with the more defense, the more attack power.
Yeah, he's doing a great job so far.
Yeah, but Thunderbird hasn't entered Pissy Boss mode yet either. That's going to be where all he does is throw out fireballs constantly.
And here he goes. Doing a great job of dodging those fireballs, though.
The patience required to do this fight the way he's doing it is crazy good.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Oh.
Oh! Wow. That fight was just... Oh my god.
Yeah, you really gotta hand it to Dark Magician. That was a clutch T-Bird fight.
That was absolutely insane. And look at that, there's Dark Link immediately after.
Oh, wow. Wow. What a race.
And we're just going to park in the corner, crouch, and hope we can just stab our shadow. No, this is not what happens when Peter Pan gets angry. Or it might be, I'm not sure. Oh, wow, Life 8! Oh my god, Life 8 saving him there! Are you kidding me?
Wow. And Dark Link just staring him down.
This is kind of weird.
This is really, really weird.
The stare down. Oh, no! No!
Oh, no! Oh, no.
The stare down! Dark Magician blinked first! No!
Oh my goodness gracious.
Wow! We've got our first highlight of the tournament, ladies and gentlemen. The showdown
What
at the
a
Great Palace
turn.
Corral.
What a turn of events. Oh my goodness.
And of course, we've got VReznor showing up to Thunderbird as we speak.
Oh wow. I thought this race was over.
That bot. That's just... I have no words.
I thought this race was over. I thought it was done.
But again, VReznor
Oh
also
my goodness.
having the problem of, I have not enough magic for Thunder.
He does have a life though.
Yeah, but
the problem is he doesn't
I'm like,
he doesn't know that Dark Link's right after Thunderbird. There could be
No.
20 more rooms after this. So
But I do agree.
giving up one of your lives is
At this point, I like it's just faster. I 100% agree with what he's doing here. Of course, again, this is coming from a guy who I've never beaten the game, so. Genos, I love that. Oh wow.
And wow, having a great fight
That's just
with
the
Thunderbird.
salt is got to be so real there.
Oh man. I can't believe it. This race was over.
Yeah, and then Dark Link decided he wanted to have a staring contest.
He was one hit away. One hit away on
Yeah.
both sides. Oh wow.
Like, this is just... Again, there are no words to describe what we just saw except, wow.
Dark Link still being very trolly. Remember, this is his last life too. Oh my
Are
goodness.
you kidding me? Dark Link 2!
Oh my
Players
goodness.
Nothing! Dark Link is having none of it tonight.
Oh, this is unbelievable. I don't even know what to say. This is unbelievable.
This is just... Dark Link is angry!
And here we see Dark Magician coming back for round 2.
He's got a couple more lives to play with this time.
Yeah, I hope so. My goodness. He might need, he's going to need at least one. Probably. This is insane.
And that bubble going all kinds of spazzy on Rez's side. And Rez is tilted too. Both of our runners are ridiculously on tilt right now.
I can't say that I blame either of them for that. This has been a crazy ending to the race.
And there's Dark Link with his third victim of the night.
Yeah, but he's got 2 more tries.
Yeah, but still, Dark Link getting 3 KOs here. And yeah, and
that is...
he makes a good point. This definitely brings up reminders of the Link 7's Link Orange match from the 100% All Keys tournament. That was just insane.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm kind of in shock still.
Let's see. I'm pretty sure what actually happened is what we don't know is Dig actually has a controller on his side, and he's actually playing as Dark Link right now. And he's just trolling everybody as much as he possibly can, just because he enjoys it.
Well, we finally see that there is in fact a winner. Dark Magician putting Dark Link to rest. What a race. What a race.
Insane.
Oh my goodness. That ending
went from okay to what the hell to oh my god.
The whole race was great though. I mean, from start to finish, these guys were neck and neck. The lead changed a few times, and it was basically even heading into Great Palace, and then Dark Link took the wheel.
Yep, Dark Link.
I don't think Dark Magician has a mic, but I have invited him to Discord. Says he's working on it, so hopefully we'll have Dark Magician here for you in just a few minutes. Meanwhile, we'll see VReznor take his crack at Dark Link.
Round 2, fight. Legend, you do not actually need a microphone or you need the Discord just so you can keep in contact with everybody, but you don't necessarily need the mics or the voice chat to be able to do it. We like to conduct the interviews here, but it doesn't mean that you need to. And hey, DM.
Hello. How are you guys?
I'm still, I think my heart rate's at about 200 after what we just saw. And
yeah, you need to go back and watch this race, man. It was fantastic.
Was you and Darkwing having a stare down, Darkwing killing you, Reznor coming back behind you, killing T-Bird, Darkwing killing him on his last life as well, and then you coming back. That's what the last 10 minutes were crazy.
Yeah, he just finished, so you were only apart by about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Just a great race from start to finish. You guys were close the whole way. Walk us through that one. It was pretty good at the beginning, right?
So like, I saw two caves that were blocked by the rock, and I was just like, the hammer is going to be buried somewhere, and we're going to need it, and this is going to suck. And sure enough, yeah, we needed to go get the hammer to get the kid. Was it the kid?
It was the kid.
Yeah, it was.
To go get the reflect spell, so definitely a required thing. And as soon as I didn't find it in any of the overworld stuff, I was like, it's in a palace, and time to start digging through those.
Yeah, it seemed like at the beginning you got the raft pretty early and the glove pretty early and the boots all pretty early on in the game, but then that one item, the hammer,
Yeah.
made both of you slowed both of you down quite a bit actually.
This is probably the most confident I felt playing one of these randomizers though, because I've been struggling with them.
Well, you played really well. I was actually curious. You used an interesting level strat that I have not seen before.
I struggle with my life a lot, and typically the magic spells are pretty cheap early on. So I level up life real quickly, keep attack about the same point system as life, and then it's easy to overcome the magic each time I'm in a palace, so I can easily get the full experience for the other two.
Yeah. Well, it worked out really well for you this time. You were able to get your levels pretty quickly. So I just got to ask, what were you thinking when you saw Dark Link just stop and stare at you?
That was a Picard what the fuck moment.
It's going to be a highlight for sure. I'm going to highlight that one.
I don't know what I did. I guess I glitched out his AI.
It must be. I wondered how long you were going to take it. I mean, I think if you would have stood there forever, he probably would have stood there forever too.
I was about to send you guys a message. I was like, and then I was like, well, I guess I'll move and see what happens. And sure enough.
Yeah, and then unfortunately what happened was not the greatest, but then by a fortunate turn of events you made it back.
And then having to
so
grind
congratulations
out that,
on your win.
to get that jar before Thunderbird too, because I stupidly took health refill.
Yeah, we saw you grinded for that jar, and when it dropped the pee bag on you, chat was not pleased. So yeah, looking ahead for you, it looks like your next matchup is going to be against Unos.
Yeah. So yeah, he's gonna beat me by about an hour.
Gonna keep practicing for that one.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I've been having fun with this. I've never been good at Z2, and I'm really enjoying this.
Well, I gotta say, man, you played this seed really, really well. I mean, I think if this were a bigger race, the finishing time wouldn't be that much faster than that with the hammer buried in Palace 6. So, great job, man. It was a really fun race to watch.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch it. When he sent that message in the chat the race channel, I was like, yeah, I bet you he died to Dark Link as well.
Yeah,
he was pretty salty about that. I think he's probably still raging.
I would imagine so, based on a comment I see in SRL.
I don't want to be anywhere near VReznor right now. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we will not be getting a post-race interview there.
I'm sure he'll be fine, though. And he has nothing to be upset about. He also played a very, very good race today.
Yeah, I mean, losing by 2 minutes in any kind of race is nothing to be ashamed of in 2 hours. It definitely could have gone easily the other way around, like you guys said. He was at Dark Link, and I had to start all over. So
it absolutely could have. It absolutely could have. Yeah. You got any more questions, TGE, for Dark Magician?
No, I'm still in shock over the showdown at the OK Corral there.
TGE is speechless.
Yeah,
This is new.
Yeah.
I legitimately lost it during that whole thing, and I literally had no words.
Congratulations, Dark Magician. I think that is an achievement that you should be very proud of. Making TGE speechless.
Hey, we got VReznor.
Oh, I lied.
Hey, what's up, VReznor?
Not much. Did anyone see that Darklink fight? Please tell me.
Oh, yeah.
We
Oh
did.
my
We saw it.
God. I'm so tilted. I'm so tilted.
The same thing happened to Dark Magician like a minute before it happened to you, too.
Yeah, you should go back and watch this race. It was a really good one.
Wait, did you game over on Darklink too?
I did, like
Oh my
a
God.
minute before you.
All
It was
right.
insane.
All right.
Yeah,
At least someone can feel my pain then, because that tilted me beyond belief. And when I died on the bridge in Great Palace when I was like 8 experience from leveling up to life 6, that pissed me
Ow.
off too.
Yeah, we saw you leave Great Palace. We were wondering where you were going. And,
Yeah, I was trying to get experience so I could get that level up, and that obviously didn't work out.
Yeah. I gotta say, I thought you played a great race overall, though. I mean, both of you were, like I was telling Dark Magician, you were neck and neck the whole race. It was close from wire to wire.
Yeah, it was pretty hard. It was a pretty tough seed because you had to get the hammer in Palace 6 to get the kid to get the reflect spell.
Yeah. You didn't have too much trouble finding it in 6, though, once you got there.
Yeah, that Palace
like.
6 and Palace 5 I think were actually really, really nice.
Yeah. So, VReznor, it looks like you are going to go on to face the loser of the race with Shiner and Sybil Dude. So
Oh,
we've
boy.
got that coming up whenever that race completes.
Sounds good.
Yeah. We got any other questions for the runners?
Again, I got nothing.
I'm
I
still
think
kind of
I'm
in
still
shock.
broken from the double dark links.
Yeah,
That was.
that's my only question.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the double dark links completely broke me.
I've never had a trolley or dark link fight. Like, how many times? He must have jumped on me 4 times, I think, 3 or 4.
You should go watch Dark Magician's Dark Link fight and see how trolly that was.
Yeah.
Because you won't believe it when you see it. You really won't. You won't believe it when you see it. Alrighty, well, it is 1:30 in the morning here. I am exhausted, so I think I'm going to go ahead and cut stream. But let me just real quick thank both of the runners for racing, and I can't wait to see you guys racing again.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for the restream and the commentary.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
For making the tournament as well.
Absolutely, it's been a lot of fun. So right now on the schedule, we've got another race coming up on Tuesday. That's the next race. I'm actually going to be restreaming that race on Tuesday. So if I don't see you tomorrow, I will absolutely see you here for the next race between Zarnax and Cool and the Gank on Tuesday night at 11 o'clock Eastern. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, and we'll see you all next time.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Thanks.